Hey there, Wargamers! Luka here from MiniWarGaming.com, joined by Rob from Battlefront Miniatures, and we are going to be playing more Flames of War, and we will play the counter-attack scenario. We're taking back our quaint French village from the Americans. Today I will be playing the German forces from the Battle of the Bulge. Specifically, I will be playing a tank hunter company. Now, leading this tank hunter force is a Jagdpanther tank hunter company HQ. He's got a big old tank. And with him, I have 3 platoons, one being a tank hunter platoon of 2 teams. We have the Hornice tank hunter platoon of 2 teams, and the Ostwind platoon of 2 teams as well. Now, it's important to note that those are the core parts of my entire force. I got to keep them around. But we are, of course, bringing a lot of German support, starting out with a Panzer Grenadier platoon of 7 teams with Panzerfaust and 4 half-tracks. It's a pretty big platoon altogether. We have a Scout Troop platoon with 2 Puma teams, a Panzer IV tank platoon with 3 teams of Panzer IVs, and we are, of course, bringing some artillery to support our forces. We are going to be bringing a Hummel artillery battery with 3 teams. And that rounds out my German forces. Let's go take a look at the Americans.
So today for the Americans, we're going to be bringing our force from Bulge American, page 22, the M4 Sherman Late Veteran Tank Company. Inside this army, we're going to have our company command, which is composed of the company commander himself and his second in command, plus a unit of M26 Pershings, along with an EZ-8 company that includes 2 EZ-8s, 1 Jumbo. We have a platoon of Chaffies. We will also have our Calliopes and a unit of Airborne. And for our reconnaissance, we are going to be bringing an M8 Greyhound Recon platoon.
And a fun fact, both the forces that Rob and I will be running today are starter boxes for their, well, relevant sides. The Germans, what you see here is everything you get in the heavy tank hunter box, and on the American side,
we have the American Spearhead Force.
And both these forces clock in at just under 100 points each, which is your average game. So you buy the 1 box, and you're ready to go.
We play and call it work.
For this game, Rob and I will be playing Counterattack. This is the 5th mission out of the rule book. We picked this one because it felt the most narratively appropriate for the Germans to be the attackers, taking back the territory they lost earlier in the war. Narratively, we have broken through the forward American defenses to bring the fight back to this location, and we are just going to continue beating them back and taking back more ground in a desperate attempt to keep the war going. There are a couple of special rules here for the defender, which we'll cover a little bit later, one being ambush and one being immediate reserves. Looking at the table, it's split into 4 table quarters. The defender will pick 1 table quarter to defend, and they will deploy their forces there, and, as you can see here, one of their objectives on top of that. And this forces the attacker to deploy in the adjacent table quarter, not the opposite one, the one directly beside it. Now, it's unique in that the defender will be able to utilize most of that table quarter to deploy, and they will have to stay 12 inches away from the direct center of the table, whereas the attacker has the restrictions of 8 inches away from the adjacent unoccupied table quarter and 8 inches away from the attacker, or the defender's table quarter, I should say. And then lastly, the attacker will place an objective marker in the final 4th table quarter unoccupied that is adjacent along the long table edge to the defender. And both of these objectives are important for both of the players because winning the game will only count on the 6th turn, and going forward, the attacker will win the game if they end their turn holding an objective. Whereas the defender will win the game if they end their turn with no attacking tank or infantry team within 8 inches of an objective, which is important to note because you can only hold an objective if you're within 4 of it. So the game will actually continue if the German forces are within 5 to 7 inches of the objective, but not controlling it. And, well, that's essentially it. The game will go until one of the first 2 clauses are met. Now, to briefly go over the 2 special rules, the attacking units, the Americans, will place one of their units in ambush. We chose the Chaffies. Now, to cover the special rules, briefly, the ambushing units for the defenders will be the Chaffies. They are hiding somewhere in Rob's deployment zone, and there are certain rules to how they show up, which we'll cover later, but I am unaware of their position, and Rob can essentially place them wherever he needs them at that moment. And they will show up in the starting step in any player turn that Rob deems them necessary. Could be turn 1, could be turn 6. And of course, we have immediate reserves. 40% of the defending forces must be placed in reserves, and they will be showing up along this highlighted table corner here, 16 inches away from it, and they get to do a full move from that table edge. But they only show up on the roll of a 5+, so it is very random and sporadic when they will show up, and it is out of the defender's control. But that is something I, as the attacker, will have to be worried about. And that there is the counterattack mission. Let's take a look at the table. Because we are trying to fight for the same little French village here, we didn't want to change it up, but we did pick a different scenario that forces a different deployment. And we are going to be playing with the full array of rules in the game here, mostly being movement orders, which I'll be able to use my Stormtrooper rules for, being the Germans. This will be a very different game. So excited to play this one out. I'm going to go over some deployment here. You might notice that I have 3 of my platoons like far off to the right, like clearly outside my deployment zone. What that is, that's a rule that the Pumas here have called Spearhead. So before the game begins, they get to do any type of relevant dash. In this case, they did a cross-country dash. They went through this area here, which then bubbles out my deployment zone because they act as scouts, which clear the area for the green and lets your tanks roll up in that area, saying there's nothing you have to worry about over here, you're good to go. So that extends my deployment zone 8 inches from the Pumas, allowing me to put my Panzer IVs and my Ostwinds in the woods there. And then other than that, I have my regular deployment over on this table quarter. We have our Hummels in what I would like to imagine is a not bad spot for them to bomb their artillery down the table, ideally in the building or whatever reveals itself in that area. And we have a pretty aggressive forward deploying, not forward deploying, but like we're just being very blunt with our Jagdpanthers here. So they're just going to roll forward, shoot their guns, and have a blast while they do it. And then we have the half tracks here, the KFZs, right beside them, ideally begging for help from and support from the tanks to move that infantry forward and get aggressive with them. And that is all of my forces deployed on the table. Oh no, I get my Hornice I should show over here. We're going to try to use some fancy footwork, or I guess I should say fancy track work with these Hornice and try and use some movement orders as the Germans to show off some of their rules to get them protected and, throw some pretty heavy shots down the table. And then on the opposite end for the American forces, I do want to say again that the Chaffies, you don't see them on the table because they are in ambush. Now, Rob, what do you have in reserves?
In reserves, we have our 2 Pershings, along with our EZ-8s and our Jumbo.
So we have some pretty heavy tanks in reserves. That's 3 Shermans, or EZ-8s, I should say, and then the Pershings are like the heavy tank equivalent. So I'm hoping they either show up quickly in piecemeal and I can deal with them. And again, to remind people, they're coming from that table quarter. They're going to arrive from that road. We actually have the road set up perfectly to show that they're coming from that direction. I didn't even consider that till right now because they're going to be showing up from this table quarter, going that direction and going this direction over here. And again, it's not a 5-up, so it's kind of sporadic, but yeah, they could show up right away or they could show up much later in the game and it's probably going to be a little more useful. And and then for the rest of the deployment, we have the infantry deployed. If you want to take the roof off of that, we have the airborne all in the building there, which will give them bulletproof cover as well as concealment, being in a building. So I'll have to hammer that with artillery throughout the game if I really want to shake them. And we have the command squad of EZ-8s and the Corponalias.
It's the Calliopes, but yes.
On the hill. 4.
And we have our scout platoon behind the building ready to leap out and try to take an objective.
Yep, they got to defend this objective over here. This is, now it might have the German symbol on it, but both objectives are relevant to me and both objectives are relevant to the Americans. It just says that I place one down, so I'm like, okay, I'll put mine down over here. I should also note out for those who might not be familiar with Flames of War and how the reserves work, there are different types of reserves, and I wasn't clear earlier. We are playing with immediate reserves in this mission, which the way that works is I guess I'll grab dice to show it. Say I have, well, it doesn't matter. I say I have 3 units in reserve. You roll On the first turn, you roll a 5. You get to pick any of your units that show up. That was lucky, I got that. And then on the second turn, you roll 2, and then you get to pick, okay. And then you get to pick up to 2 units that show up. It's not random, you just pick your units. And then on the third turn, etc. But once you start rolling 3 or more dice to bring reserves, and you don't roll any 5s, you actually get to pick 1 to show up immediately. So it is actually pretty nicely in your control how the reserves show up. It's not as random as I made it seem earlier. I just wanted to clarify that. So sorry for like extending the video there a little bit. But we are ready to go. I am the attacker in this mission. We are not playing a meeting engagement, so that means the attacker must go first. And let's get this game going. So good luck, Rob. Good luck to the Americans, but better luck to Luka and the Germans for sure. My starting step, boom, nothing to do. Very, very simple for the Germans here. So we're going to go right on to the movement phase. And we're going to start with some pretty rudimentary moves here, like some basic stuff. I think we're actually going to try some orders here, which I'm very excited to do. We'll do the orders later, but we're going to do the stuff that doesn't need orders right now. Like the Panzer IVs here are just going to go ahead and I think they want to cross-country dash. Yeah, they want to do just that. What we're going to do with that is we're going to actually try and just go into the woods here. Now, the cross-country dash will take me past that little shrub there, but I do have to do cross-checks for them. So the command tank, I'm always going to play like the middle tank as the command tank. Not that it matters too much right now, but we'll have you go there and try and perform a cross-check and see what, this is on 3+ because they're treaded. Okay, well, he's going to stay there, and then this guy is going to move to there, and then turn and move to about there, and see if he can cross into the woods, which he does, so he'll go further in. He'll go to about there. And then the last tank is just going to go forward to there. Cross-check. Yep, all right, he's able to go into there as well. Boom, except for one guy is stuck on the outside of it. The second thought, I'm going to remember how the rules work. You cannot cross-country dash into like wooded terrain or in the fields and things like that. I would have had to declare a terrain dash, which is only 14-inch move. So I'll still call a cross-country dash. I'm just going to end up over here instead. We're going to go something like this, and we're going to use this to kind of protect us somewhat. We're going to end our move like that. All of that, I couldn't have legally gone into the woods. They're all happy there. We are going to have the Pumas go ahead and do a cross-country dash, but they're not going to do anything too wild. They're probably just going to end up over here, I think. And then the Ostwinds are going to perform a movement order, and it's going to be the cross-check one, which is automatic. They add +1 to their cross-check roll, but they cannot assault or fire. They're focused on just maneuvering the terrain. So a 2-up for that guy. Okay, a 2-up for that guy. Can't fault the dice, dude. All right, they're hanging out. They're keeping it real there. All right, well, let's move on to somewhere much cooler. We are gonna, we're gonna move all of this stuff here first. So we're just gonna go ahead and cross-country dash the half-tracks. Not going the full 16, but they're gonna try and utilize the woods to. They're not going into the woods. They're on the outside of the woods, and gonna do that. And then we're gonna move our Jagdpanthers. The Jagd Hunters go tactical 10 just to get to this position here. And then we're going to try something fancy on our company commander there. He is going to attempt a blitz move, which allows him to move up to 4 inches and count as halted. So you get his full rate of fire. I have to roll on his skill, though. That is a fail. So he fails an order, which he can still move at tactical speed, but he's considered out of command. And it'll be an additional modifier to hit when he goes to shoot.
Right.
Before I move him, that's a roll on his skill, and if anyone's curious, he's a veteran at skill. A lot of the German forces are veterans at skill, so they succeed on 3+. Unfortunately, it was just a 2. Move him behind the 2 Jagd Hunters in front, or Jagd Panthers up front. The Hornies are going to attempt a blitz maneuver as well. They are veterans. They're going to pass. That's a 3, sorry. The light is on it. So the blitz allows them to do a 4-inch move.
Yes, and not count as moving.
Cannot count as moving. So
they count as stationary. Yep.
They're able to do their full rate of fire, and they're poking down this way to look down at all the stuff over there. And that will conclude my movement, because that was the last thing. We're going to start the shooting off with nothing too exciting. Actually, no, we're going to start this off with something very exciting. Let's do the Hummels. We're going to bomb artillery down at that white building and see what we can get. I'm going to attempt to range in, and this is where I'm going to try and range in. On top of that infantry base, I have clear line to it, and it'll cover somewhat of the building and the other 3 infantry bases if I'm able to range in well. So you go to the skill of the artillery, and again, Germans, we're veterans here with the Hummels, so we're looking for a 3 up to range in. However, we are touching tall terrain with the template, the artillery template, which is the building in this case. So it's a little bit more difficult to range in. I'm going to add 1 to the modifier here, so I'm looking for a 4 to range in on the first one. So we got a 6. Awesome. So we range in on the first one, which means we're suffering no negatives to the hit rolls here. So I will be hitting the 4 teams on the ground.
Yep, and then we're going to see who's in here. So we got 2 teams here that'll be under the template, and 2 teams there under the template.
So an additional 4 teams. The artillery just lights up the side of that building, shakes it at its foundation.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
8 of them? All right, so that's 4. Let me get an 8th die. Well, I want him to be the main target hit. Like, the first hit will be assigned to him, then the rest is up to Rob. We're hitting against their skill of 4, and we hit average 4 times. Then Rob's going to assign all the hits to the guys in the open.
Yep.
And they're hit, they're wounded, but they're infantry. They have a save of 3+. But they won't be in bulletproof cover, so any 3s failed is a dead team. I guess you roll... but they count as, they've dug foxholes already, which counts as bulletproof cover, and they're dug in and all that stuff, and gone aground. So they're okay. They'll have bulletproof cover against this. So you have your saves, I suppose.
Yep. So we'll do a 3+.
First one. So that first team's good.
This guy here, he's good.
Level 6. Third one. That's a
Not
fail.
so much.
And then they'll have a save afterwards.
Yep. The last guy, he's good.
Okay. So what is the save here?
So what we have
firepower.
So what you have to do here is he failed his infantry save. Now you have to roll a firepower check on your gun, which I believe is automatic because it's so heavy caliber, and it may actually go through.
Looking at that, the artillery portion of the weapon is a 2 up for firepower. Come on now. Okay, so we kill that base. And the direct fire, however, is automatic. And that will pin them, and they're ranged in. So I know where to calibrate my weapons to always kind of hit that same area effectively, which is good. Which means Rob will have to do something with them to shimmy their position up a little bit, or just suffer the effects of it, because they are pretty defensive. That's the Hummels. That was the most exciting one to resolve. We are going to go with the Jagdpanthers. Let's go with the guy in the middle, the commander. He is going to have a hard time hitting. Looking at how I have him set up, I'd have to draw a line of sight through the Jagd Hunter in front of him to be able to fire at the infantry team. So I'm not too worried about him. Plus, he's got failed command on him anyways. He's not going to land anything. Let's go with these 2 Jagdpanthers, and they're going to put their couple of... They only have rate of fire 1 right now. They're going to put it into that infantry team right out in the open, because that's the only target I really have. They're hit on 4s, but we're long range, so we're hitting on 5s, and they're concealed because they're all dug in, so we're looking for 6s. That is a pair of misses. Now what we're going to do is we're going to move over to the Hornice. They're going to put their giant guns into the one cornucopia on the hill that I can see there. It's the only one I can really see. I can see the Easy 8s behind it, but I'd rather go for the artillery piece for now, because I'm going to... Oh, it's on the same chassis, but whatever, it's closest target. Actually, they're on an M4 chassis, and the Easy 8s are... I thought they were all the same chassis. I was incorrect. So we are going to put the couple of shots. Now, they blitz move, so they get their full rate of fire, which will be 4 shots into that cornucopia. What is its skill?
4+ to hit.
So we're long range.
Concealed for being hold on the hill.
And hold down on the hill, so we're looking for 6s. We get a hit. Oh, we got a hit. That's really good.
So we're going to assign it to your primary target that you chose.
Again, this is hits assigned to him, but there's a rule where you can, I can't remember the name of it, but you can essentially change the hits up.
Yep. So we're going to roll to see if we can do that.
No.
And no,
So
we're not going to be able to. So the hit's going to have to go on him.
All right, and he's the one spotting, so that's important to take him out.
Yep.
Now, what is the armor?
I am a front armor of, all of a sudden,
Sorry, that was 7. I cut off the camera there for while we looked. So this is strength 14, anti-tank 14, so no save.
Yep, so long range I would be at an 8, and there's no way I can do it, so 5
Oh,
power.
6. Oh, you're right, a 6 could do it at long range, because you go to 14, and it would be a glancing hit. I'm only anti-tank 14.
Oh, right, okay. Yeah. Math, right? It's good, yeah?
6?
No,
not
not
quite.
today.
Now, does the firepower do anything here? Oh, it blows
it
it
does.
sky high, dude.
Yeah.
Boom!
Yeah. If it's going to stay or not. Yeah.
Hey, it did. So we got one of those pieces down. And that's it for my shooting phase. Just because what I have, these guys just got stuck in the roots. And we're just like deploying these guys in their positions to get ready for later turns. And they have no targets as of right now. So we are going to show something unique for the Germans. Most of these tanks, I think everything but the half tracks maybe. All right, correction. Literally everything in my force has the rule, Stormtrooper rule, which says if they could do a second movement order as long as they passed one earlier. So like example, this tank commander cannot do a second one because he failed one earlier. we are going to go ahead and perform shoot and scoot. So in the assault phase, if they remain stationary in their movement phase, which they did because they blitzed, counting as stationary, they can perform a shoot and scoot, which lets them do a 4-inch move now, which they succeed. So they're able to just go like this and go back behind the ruins. They're so lightly armored that I do not want them exposed at all. So that's just, they could pop out, shoot, go back behind the ruins as Germans. I don't want to do anything else. I can't do anything else. That's turn 1. Not bad turn for Germans. We pinned some infantry. We blew up Calliope, and we're going to move on to turn 1 for the Americans. Some of the things we have to do, we have to remount Bale tanks. That's not relevant right now, but we do have to try and rally this pinned unit of infantry. But they are fearless.
Yeah, so they will rally on a 3+.
Yeah, they're veterans. They've been around for a while. Yeah. Oh, they're no problem. They don't care about artillery, dude. Yeah. Hummels? That was yesterday's problem. They've rallied. We got the range in marker there, just to show that it's technically the location underneath that infantry team that I'll always be able to direct hit if I need to. Now, we have ambushers. Do you want your ambushers to show up yet?
I'm going to have a think on that. I don't think so.
And again, for anyone who's curious, they have to show up in this deployment zone.
Yep.
More than 4 inches away if they're going to be in concealed terrain, or failing that, more than 16 away.
Yep.
So the answer to that question, if we want the ambushers to show up, is heck yes. So here we are. So the rules for this is they always have to be at least 4 inches away. But if they're out in the open, not concealed at all, they have to be at least 16 inches away. So if they are concealed, which on this side of the hill, they had camo skirts on, or whatever means, they were there hidden the entire time. I didn't see them. They are concealed being on the opposite side of the hill from my forces. That means they can be anywhere between 4 and 16. In this case, it looks like they're like 7 or so inches away. They can't be on this side of the hill, or else they won't count as being concealed. So that's why they're over here. And that is terrifying for me, because now they're in the side of my Yag Hunters here, or Yag Panthers. Mm-hmm. Oh boy. Well, that's it for... Oh wait, no, we have to roll for reserves.
Yep, we still have to do reserves. All right, so it's reserve time. We get 1 die being the first turn. We need a 5 or better, which we don't.
Not yet, okay. After the reserves, there's nothing else to do in the starting steps, so we're going to move on to the regular movement, and we're going to find out what these Americans are going to do.
All right, so our Chaffies are going to sit still during the movement phase because they want to take full effect with their full rate of fire without any penalties. Next, I have to move these first to get them out of the way for those. So.
Oh, you're going to abandon this objective?
Just these right here, not the infantry. They're going to stay.
All right, so we have little scout guys. Are they just going to dash?
They're going to do a cross-country dash. The Jeep's going to end up advancing up to this side of the building, and the Greyhounds will have to be over here on this side. So the Greyhounds do a cross-country dash of 16. So they're going to end up here. And the Jeeps move a little bit faster. They can go 20 inches on a cross-country dash, so they're going to end up on this side of the building.
They're just getting in a safe position to jump on that objective.
Yeah,
later,
just to stay on that side so they can get to the objective, but not be in direct line of sight right away from the Panther force.
Yeah, makes sense. They're not really super great at fighting. They're better at just being a nuisance.
Yeah, nuisance, yep. And our command elements are just going to move a tactical move over here behind the building, just to stay out of direct line of sight from the Yag Panthers for now. So,
cowards.
Yeah.
They're too afraid of the superior German forces, I see.
Something like that.
We're going to go into shooting. Just going to pan over to here, where I suspect we're going to start in about a moment. Okay, well, we're careful tanks. Are we firing at the Yag Panther unit or the commander?
We're going to fire specifically at the unit.
Okay. And then that should be a pretty clean shot, and you're within 16 as well, so no long range penalties here. That's bad for me.
Correct, and we're also on the side armor, so it's going to be very good for me.
Yeah.
So I've got 8 shots, 2 for each vehicle, so we're going to need 4s to hit.
Okay, well, we got about half. Got to expect a half.
Yeah.
Going to be 2 hits on each tank, and they are side armor 5. I'm just going to go confirm that, which means, and you're anti-tank 10?
10.
All right, so I'm looking for 5s to at least mitigate the hit a little bit.
Yep.
So I'll start with this. So they both have 2. I should show that because there's 4 hits. Boop, boop. That's the initial target, then hit. And I can't swap them out because it's already evenly dispersed. So what we're going to do here is... we'll start with that's the commander, technically. We'll start with him. And 5s will be glances. 6 completely negate the hit. Okay, so we do negate 1 of the hits, so firepower dies. The 3 up?
3 or better.
You got him. I'll put smoke on him. He's out of here. And then I owe you a pair of saves over here. Ooh, they both go through.
3 or better.
This is the perfect ambush. So both destroyed. Loved it. I love to see that. That was awesome.
I think you're...
That is the unfortunate demise of my Yag Panthers. That's okay, because we still have 1 more. And that was some great firepower. And that is it for the Chaffies. Now, that is it for shooting, as the
Calliope's.
The coffees. They have nothing to really fire at because line of sight purposes and like risky if like if we do have a sight here, then it might hit the
Chaffies.
The Chaffies there. So we're gonna go to the assault phase and we're gonna try a shoot and skill with the Chaffies because they did not move in the movement phase. They were always in that position, ambushed. And they have a rule called the Yankee Ingenuity. They're trained, so they get +1 to this roll. They actually succeed on a 3-up because it's a tactical move. Yep. So 3+.
Nope.
Okay.
So they're gonna have to stay put.
Interesting. I hope that is the end of the Chaffies there. And with that, that is the end of American turn 1. We're gonna go to the second battle round and turn for the Germans. Well, we're right onto my movement phase. I have nothing to do in the startup. I think I'm going to do stuff over here first and try and figure this nonsense out a wee bit and try and have some fun with that. I got these Panzer IVs that are lined up to do something. I'm going to try a little bold move with the Panzer IVs. They're going to attempt a blitz order. Oh, they're only trained. It's only a 50-50, a 4-up. I'll go for the risk because I'd rather the double shots. Oh, they succeed. Very good. They get to do a forge move. That's them all moving their 4. However, this guy will be unable to do any fires with the blitz, so he's going to move at a tactical speed just to kind of keep the same idea going. That means they're going to fire a full rate of fire. That guy will not. But that's still pretty worth. I liked the 4-up. That was cool. Move to the Ostwinds and keep them a little more reserved. I'm going to use them as like a counter to the nuisance unit, the Jeeps and the Greyhound. The Greyhound, like the bus. They are going to try and counteract them with their autocannons. But I also have to protect them against the eventual reserves coming from over here. So they're going to perform the cross action where they get to automatically get to add 1 to their cross checks though. So if I don't roll double 1s again, they should be able to move. That one there will move, and then that one there will move. They're just going to reposition and face their front this direction. Hide deeper in the woods because some information of the enemy reinforcements showing up, obviously unknown when they'll show up, but the direction says, southeast. And then the Pumas, they are going to go at cross-country speed. They're going to cross-country dash, and I think they're just going to try and park here. There. The only thing I have overly exposed are my Panzer IVs on the far right, which they are incredibly exposed. Moving over to the Yag Hunter Tank Commander. We have to deal with the Chaffies here, so we're going to attempt a blitz order. The dummy fails it. We're going to keep the Hornists where they are. I don't want to risk blitzing. I was thinking about blitzing backwards and then shooting and scooting over there in case it all fails, but I'm going to invest a lot in killing these, somewhat. And then we're going to disembark the infantry inside as well. And like bats out of hell, they hop over the edges of the half tracks and start climbing the hill because they want to make this a German hill, just like the last game. But this time they're going to succeed for sure. We just have to deal with, the machine guns. Actually position them this way. That way we have
full rate of fire
better. I don't think they're going to still continuously bombard the infantry, I think. And we're going to rely on the Hornists and the unfortunately failed command check on the commander here to like at least bail out one or maybe take out a couple. The drivers of the half tracks are going to move in this position to put some firepower down on the infantry with their machine guns and staying with within command as well. And we're ready to start shooting. So we are going to start with the, the Hornists, I suppose. We're going to put the rate of fire 4 total into the Chaffies. Now they are going to be concealed, but I don't believe, they might be outside of 16 as well. They are over 21 inches away from the Chaffies, so even with a blitz, they're not going to get in range to negate the short range on this. So we're just going to hopefully hit them. So we are looking at 5s to 6s to hit because of concealed and long range. Oh gosh. Well, we got to hit. It was going to go on the platoon commander, but Rob can change it if he wants to.
Yep, we're going to roll for any one of the schleps off to the side that they can still see. So we'll go to that guy if we can.
Yeah, it's going to go to him instead.
So it's that one.
So we go right through the armor, so we're looking for firepower. That is, not enough, but he's bailed out.
He is bailed? Awesome.
We do negate the defensive fire, which is important. We're going to go ahead and fire the tank commander now, a single shot. Now, he's hitting on 4 normally. They're concealed for 5s, and 6s because he failed that order. Come on. Nope, he misses. That's a 1. Oh, well. Can't do much about that. Then we have Panzerfaust to fire. A couple Panzerfaust. Be 6s to hit because they're slow to fire. We moved. And concealment. Pair of 6s. Not a 1. All right. And as part of that platoon, we have the half-tracks firing their machine guns, into the infantry there. We are within 16 inches, so their rate of fire 4 each was 4, 8, 12, 16 shots.
Cover.
Yeah, so because they're gone to ground and because they are in foxholes and they're concealed, these are only hitting on 6s. This is the first half. In the second half, machine guns, we got a hit. We got 1 hit on the primary target there with the on the objective, and he's got a 3-up infantry save.
Yep.
Boom, you're
He's
okay.
good.
Okay, this is very bad here. I need to deal with these chaffies. If I don't, I think they're going to win the game on their own on this flank. So I'm going to have to fire my Hummels, and they're going to have to pivot towards their front arc, towards the enemy chaffies here, and fire at this guy. He's still concealed on the hill, on that side of it, and over a long range. So they are hitting on 6s. I need at least, if I can get 1 6, I'm okay. Oh, we got 1 6. Okay.
All right.
So that is...
So I'm going to attempt to move the hit off the platoon commander over
Correct.
here, so it does.
So that will destroy him, though.
It will be destroyed.
Yeah. Just because it's automatic firepower and the armored pen or the anti-tank is high enough to there's no save. All right, well, we still have more difficulties to deal with, though, because we still have 2 of the chaffies ready to fire machine guns on the assault into my infantry here. But that's it for the shooting on this side of the table. We are going to move to our Panzer IVs, who are going to try and light up the sides of the Shermans, not Shermans, the they're
Easy 8 command.
Easy 8s, yeah. No concealment for these shots. 2 of them did not count as moving. 1 of them, however, is. So he only has 1 single rate of fire. So it's a rate of fire of 5. Long range fire, so we're to hit on 4. We're looking for 5s to hit here. Ooh, 1 more. Okay, we got 3 hits. So we're going to have 2 hits on the second in command and 1 hit on the main command there. And these are going to be armor, effectively 5 because of long range. And these are anti-tank.
11, if I remember correctly.
I think you're right. I'll double check, though.
So
you are going to need 6s. I got really lucky here.
So let's go with the drama one here. We need a 6 to glance. Nope.
Ooh, okay.
And then the second in command.
All right, so they're all going to go through.
Destroy.
So I'll do the 2 chances to destroy. He is destroyed.
Okay.
And then the commander. Oh, he's alive. He's bailed out, though.
out.
The Panzer IVs kicked butt over there. I did not expect anything from them, really, but I guess that was a lot of dice I threw, all things considered. So we're done firing. We're into the assault phase, and very, very stressed out about this maneuver, but I could just leave them alone now. One's bailed out, and 2 of them are off on their own. It's not like it means they're going to run, but their effectiveness is much lower. Go for the gamble. I'm going to declare the assault, and then we're going to move in, and then we're going to resolve machine gun fire, and then see if it pushes me back or not again. They have 2 machine guns, 1 on the front, 1 on the turret, and they just need to get 5 hits to drive me back. We've moved in within 4 everywhere we could, and we got a couple supporting maneuvers there. Now, these 2 are able to fire the machine guns, and it's 10 shots.
Yep, 5 from each vehicle. So.
Yeah, you're still looking at pretty good odds for yourself here, but I think I got to take it.
I need 3s.
Oh my
Ooh,
gosh.
A lot of 1s. Oh my goodness. Only 3 hits.
Oh, the assault is very successful.
Yep.
So hit there, and hit there, I suppose. And then IOU infantry saves. So the first one there, 3+. Second one, 3+. And last one, oh, he got him. He's dead. I got 4 attacks against that tank and 2 against the bailed out one. Unfortunately, the one that made it into the active tank got shot down by a machine gun. They are trained, so they hit on 4s. A couple of them are going to be Panzerfaust on 4s. Oh, okay, one does connect, and then it goes against the armor of 5 on the side? 4, so that'll go right through, because you can't roll a d6 high enough to do that. The firepower is a 5-up, so it does not blow its sky, but it does bail out the guys.
And you still have more attacks to do.
I have 2. They're going to try and put grenades on the top on 4s. They both hit. Armor 1 on the top, so 2 ups to negate it. You're fine there. And then I have 2 attacks on this one, which is already bailed out, so I don't know if it really... Actually, it doesn't really matter, because at best I could just bail you out. So yeah, you're already bailed out.
Well, no, you can destroy. You hit, so if I roll, you can double bail them, I have to take an immediate check.
Oh,
right?
true, yeah. You both pass. Okay, so just the grenades do nothing effectively. And then, so he's bailed out. We still have an active tank in this assault. Did not destroy or bail out everything. So he's going to do a motivation check to see if he's ready to keep on or try to run over some infantry.
Yep. So I need a 4 or better.
That is a
Nope.
1.
So he's going to run away.
He's driven
The
off.
other tanks that are bailed out are automatically destroyed.
Okay, well, the assault's resolved. So what actually happens there is, because the motivation check was failed, the unit being assaulted must break off, and they do a tactical move, and they must get at least 6 inches away. If they do not get 6 inches away, they count as being destroyed. So obviously the ones that are bailed out, they have no crew operating them, so they cannot move more than 6 inches away. They get destroyed. Whereas this tank tried to go this way, but it was still about 4 inches away from the infantry, so it had to go this direction to run away. And then afterwards, our infantry get to 4-inch consolidate, and that's kind of where they end up for now. I kind of want to point out the extreme amount of circumstance that led to this. First of all, Chaffies show up out of ambush, excellent position, annihilate my Jagdpanthers, and then I get incredibly lucky that Rob fails his shoot and scoot. So he's stuck in this position on the hill in line of sight. I light it up with Hornice, and then that's great. I bail one out. That's awesome. That's amazing. And then I get that lucky hard choice, that's 6 to hit with a Hummel, which destroys one. And then on top of
the defying odds of 10 shots needing 3,
exactly,
only getting 3 hits.
Only getting 3 hits, allowing me to continue the assault. Those 3 wild circumstances got me in a better position on this flank, where that one singular ambush put me in such a deficit.
It just goes to show you that in a game of Flames of War, never think that a desperate situation is not winnable.
Exactly.
Because the 6s can always come up in your
favor. To give examples of other games, that's definitely not the case. Like if this came up in another game, that's game. Like there's no way to circumvent that. That's like you did a good move, you got in that good position, and there is always room for desperation, but that's why I love games like this. You're only throwing a couple dice, and it's just like you can't rely on that. So but you have no other option. I need a 6. I got it or I didn't. That's that. That's like it, right? Yeah. And my goodness, that was, I think, an outstanding turn. I don't think I could have asked for a better turn.
I would say iconic of Flames of War, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
It really does exemplify kind of how the game plays. That's why I say just never give up on what you're doing.
Just roll dice.
Just keep doing it. Yep. Keep pushing forward until the scenario tells you, better luck next time.
Exactly.
So.
And that's why I like about these old games. You're never actually out until the very end. Unless you're tabled, I guess. There's always that.
Right, yeah.
And that happens from time to time. Okay, well, that's the end of my turn. We are going to go to the bottom of turn 2 for the Americans, and we've got a lot of pressure on them.
So to start off, we're going to have to start doing some remounting of the bailed out vehicles. So we're going to start with our company commander here, who's going to need a remount of a 3+.
He does. He's back in it. And he being a commander, he does not have to worry about last stand. He's always active. But that is not true for this Chaffee over here. He's the last element left in his platoon. Yep. So he might have to perform a last stand. What is his last stand?
He's going to be a 4+.
4+. No reroll. Oh, he's sticking around.
Golden.
That's good. Yeah. Yep. Now we have to roll for reserves. So there are 2 dice now because it's turn 2. Look for 5+. And we see nothing yet. Come on, we need some assistance here. No reserves. We're going to go right on to movement, and we have this Chaffee.
So he's going to stay still and just take his full rate of fire at the Hornice.
Boo. That's what I was afraid of. But you know what? I'm really happy with the outcome over here all the same.
Yep.
And what is the plan?
And then the Calliopes are going to move up on the top of the hill, get in range to try to put some fire down onto your infantry there to see if we can't get them to rout in the next turn or two by depleting their strength. And then our commander here in his little Easy 80, he's going to turn and pivot and fire shots downrange to your PZ4s.
Just in the shooting phase. So he's going to stay still for now.
So he's going to stay still, and then these guys are going to move over there to try to get a better tactical position. So.
Tactical move. So them being the only thing moving, we're going to go ahead and move them behind the train there. Yep. And I guess these are going to climb to the top of the hill. So we'll figure out the actual position for them, but they're going to track up that hill. Stand up there, and then we go over to the recon unit, the Greyhounds and the Jeeps. Into the shooting phase, he'll pivot and take a shot down at the Panzers. They are aggressive, so they're hit on 3s and long range for 4s. We got the shots going at the Panzer 4s.
Yep, so he's going to shoot the PZ4s.
And we got pair of hits. So this will be, which one did you want to be
the primary? The closest target is generally where I put my target.
And then I'll do the second shot on this guy over here. Yeah, their armor goes up to 7 on the front, but the firepower on the Easy 8 there is 14 anti-tank, so right through. And we're looking for firepower 3 up on that guy. He is bailed out, and then firepower 3 up. He's bailed out too. Didn't take him out, but they're bailed. And okay, well that could still result in that unit being destroyed on my turn. Got the machine guns from the coroscopes into my infantry.
You're going to start calling them kaleidoscopes.
Kaleidoscopes is next. Okay. 3's hit. Yeah, these guys suck. Oh, that's not bad. That's actually half hits. You should have got one more, though. Oh, it's 4? Ooh, okay.
Yes.
Well,
so I can't pin you.
First one target there, I assume. So that's one hit there. And then I'll just go, for the thematic purpose, I'll just hit all the guys closest. Except for my commander, you know. I don't want to do my commander. I like him too much. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, well, now I have infantry saves of 3 up. They're not dug in. They don't have anything like
no
that.
bulletproof
So
cover, so just an infantry save.
a failed save is a dead team. So machine guns on them, 3+. That does take out that team. And then machine guns on these guys. Oh, 2 teams down. Very good shooting. That team there. 3.
Oh my God.
And then the last one. Oh, no, it's drop die. Oh. It's not straight. Got him!
Chaffies have been vindicated.
Oh my gosh, you just gunned down 4 teams of innocent Germans. What is going on this flank? I've lost my Yog Hunters. You've lost your Chaffies. I've lost my infantry. That's very good. That's perfectly good because now I have to roll last stand every turn for that infantry. Now onto the Chaffee. We are within 16 inches of the Hornice. A couple of shots looking for 4s. That is a hit. All right. I guess you want to do the closest guy?
Yep.
Anti-tank 10.
AT-10.
Right through. He's only got armor 2 on the front. Very soft.
So 3+ firepower.
Sky high. That's forcing last stands on the Hornice as well. Good job, buddy. All right. That's shooting. No assaulting to do. So that's turn. Not bad. We're on to battle round 3. There's still 6. By the time 6 comes around, we're not going to have anything left, man. So we have to remount our bailed out Panzers. We're going to start. They are reluctant to once a 5 up, but they have protected ammo, so it's easier for them to cool off whatever's happening here. So 4 up and 4 up. Oh, they're both in it.
Up.
All right, look at that. Oops, a little bit. That's it for remounting our vehicles. We do have to go to the last stand, so Hornice down to 1 singular element here. They're fearless, however. That 1 is sticking around. And then our Panzer Grenadiers are a little green, so they're reluctant to stay around, so that's a 5 up. But they do have the Third Reich rule, which means they get +1 to that. 4+. Oh, wow. Okay, everything's... For this turn. I still have to test every turn, yeah. Well, I'm just going to expect that my Panzer Grenadiers are just going to stick around for the rest of the game. So what we're going to... Even though it is tempting that they go to take out this guy here, or this infantry, we're going to move their 8 towards this Chaffee and stay outside of 2, which means this guy's just going to be right behind him. And we're going to move more outside of the front arc. Half tracks will go at a dash backwards. They're not going to be able to do anything, really, but that's cool. This is a cool German hill. Go with the commander, the HQ. He's going to attempt to blitz. Order. He passes. Nice. Move 4 inches that direction so he can put some pressure on the Calliopes. And kind of remain stationary, then shoot and scoot afterwards if he wants to. It's kind of cool for the tank there, because he moves 10 at tactical speed, and if I pass the 2 checks, he could technically move 8 inches a turn and still fire 2 shots, which I like. And from the tank commander, let's go take a look at the Hornice. We are going to keep it still, because it's within 16 of the Chaffee, and our Hummels are going to stay still as well. They're probably going to go back to barraging some artillery on the infantry near the building, down over on this side of the table. But we have to figure out what to do over here. So we are gonna, oh gosh, those Panzer IVs. Probably just gonna keep them kind of where they are. We're gonna come back to them a little bit later. These Pumas are gonna go at cross-country speed, dash, and they're gonna end up, I think, around here behind that building. And then the Ostwinds are gonna move afterwards and try and take up the position where the Pumas are, because it's not a bad spot. Pumas are gonna end there. We are going to terrain dash, because they're in the woods, these Ostwinds, and we're going to focus on trying to clear the roots in the woods. So we are going to not be able to shoot or assault, but they are going to get +1 to their cross check. So the guy closest to the edge will pass, and the follow-up, hey, look, it mattered. Just kind of position them behind that building there. A little concerned about the reserve. 1 unit's going to automatically show up from reserves this turn, so I got to watch out for that. I can't perfectly hide them, but I can at least give them concealment and keep them kind of further back. They might as well back it up as well, somewhat. I'm going to go ahead with the Panzer IVs, and they're going to go hide in the woods. We're going to go ahead and do the cross here order, where they're automatically going to cross on a, I believe, they're tracked, so it's going to be a 2 up here. So the first guy, and they're going to terrain dash in there. Second guy, and the last guy. So they all cross in the woods. Our Panzer IVs, good to go. It's going to bring us to shooting, I believe. We're going to start with something weird and basic. The 2 Panzerfaust firing from the infantry team here into the Chaffee. We'll hits on 5s here because these are slow to fire. Oh, we do actually get a hit. Ooh. Oh, and that's pretty high anti-tank as well. That's AT-12 against side armor, so that's a clean hit.
Firepower.
Firepower 5+, however. Oh, he's fine. He just bailed out. Bailed out. I have no other targets with the Hornice, so I might as well take a couple shots on 4s. This might just blow it sky high. Goes right through his armor. And oh, he's also bailed.
Bailed.
That bailed out though.
Double
That's the
bailed.
last stand check.
It is.
Confident on last stand on a 4-up, or maybe it's a 3-up. But either way, it's a 4-up in this case. Boom.
Yep.
Then from the Hornice, we're going to go to the tank commander, who is going to turn a little bit and crack a couple of shots at the kaleidoscopes.
Kaleidoscopes.
And we do get we're outside of 16, but I don't believe they're concealed up there.
Not anymore. They're on top of the hill.
They're
now.
on top of the hill now. So these are, what do they hit on?
Normally a 4, so long
5s.
range. You said 5s.
5s. We got a hit.
Okay.
We'll just say that guy's hit.
Sure. Yeah, he's the one that's easily seen.
And then it should go. It should go right through his
Armor 7.
Boom. Oh, he's just bailed out. He's anti-tank 17, 14.
14.
Oh, he would have had
So
a
I
6
could
to
get a
save,
6
yeah.
to try to bail. So yeah, so it's
Okay.
going to go right through. So he's going to be destroyed.
No, just bailed. I rolled a 2
Oh, he
on
bailed. You rolled
firepower.
2.
Yeah.
Sorry.
The correction, it is anti-tank 17. I just failed the firepower check.
I was thinking it was the normal Panther. I think is.
Right, yeah. He's got that big old tiger gun on him. Anyways, that's him done. And we got the Hummels. They are going to fire in their front arc, and they're going to spot with this guy at that same infantry.
here.
Now, we do lose the ranged in marker because they fired at a different target last turn, which was a potential game-saving target to fire at, so that's all good. We're going to try and range in right on where we did before, right in the middle of that base. And their skill is a 3+, but we will be touching terrain, so we're looking for a 4 on the range ins. First one, second one, we do range in. We got them ranged in now, but we are going to be hitting them on one additional modifier because it took us, we missed the first range in. And there's going to be 7 hits because there's 4 bases on the inside of the building we're hitting.
And 2 of them are bazookas, and 1 is the platoon commander. So.
We're hitting them on 5s. We get a hit on the initial target, and then Rob can put the 2 hits on whomever he wants to. Got a hit on that guy there, and then where do you want the other 2 hits to go?
We're just going to keep going with the guys in the
Guys on
open
the
until
inside.
they're gone.
All right, then we got infantry saves with 3+. And we'll start with the marked one first.
Yep.
3+. They're okay, and then those 2.
And then the back guy.
Oh, they're all good. Oh, we got them ranged in and they're pinned.
Yep.
And if anyone's curious why infantry seems so durable, it is abstract, right? You have to remember that they're dug in, they're sandbags, they're maybe 4 or 5 deep, 4 or 5 feet deep under the earth, or they have that much earth above them protecting them. Like what else? What else is there?
I
right?
mean, maybe they found some, old carts that they put there, ramshackled bits of things to just help protect them from the blast, and the fact that it's not just one person like in a normal game. You're talking about 4 or 5 guys
On a
in a
base.
section.
Yeah.
That make, or in a team that makes up a section. So that artillery round may have actually killed somebody on that base, but their combat effectiveness is still there, so the team remains in play.
Right, failing that 3-up save kind of represents a very clean hit that kills off 4 or 5 guys.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like the round, it landed center mass amongst that team, and it did enough damage amongst that team that only one dude was left, and he was shaken.
And he runs, or
Yeah.
he joins another team.
Or
that
joins
lost
the
a guy
other
earlier.
team,
Yeah,
yep.
exactly. Nothing else of mine is going to be firing, so we're going to go right to the assault phase, where we're just going to assault this tank, because why not? We might as well get it out of here. Boop. Boop. There should be no defensive machine gun fire because they're bailed
He's
out.
bailed out, yep.
And then we got a couple hits with we got a couple of shots with our Panzerfaust here, and I believe they hit. Their skill is 4, so they hit on 4s. We got a hit, and it goes right through the armor. And does it do any damage? No, but it bails them out, which means
So I'm going to have to end up doing 2 morale checks, 1 for the double bail,
right.
then 1 to see if I stay in the fight.
The motivation,
Right?
that's right. Yeah.
Okay, so first one, no, he fails. He's double bail. He's automatically going to give up and is destroyed.
Well, I guess they destroy the tank. The crew
Yeah, he
runs
stays
away.
there, or
Yeah.
he killed the crew, whatever, but they
Yeah.
spiked it before they died. So, yep.
Consolidate afterwards. And I would like to note that they're probably going to run away in an upcoming turn, but they got the last laugh in. They got the chaffies. That's all that matters, baby. That is turn. We're going to go on to turn 3 for the British. The Americans. Some of them are probably British. Remount the bailed out corn cob? Calliope?
So he's going to be a 4+.
Oh, he doesn't. Now we have to do a last stand. Well, we have no more remounts, right?
No other remounts, no.
So we have to see if they stick around.
Unit last stand, 4+.
Oh, wow.
Nope. So it was going to go away. So that one will end up being destroyed, and that one
Just goes
Goes
to
away.
fight another day. Mm-hmm. Interesting. I didn't expect that.
Yeah.
Go with a pin marker from the artillery on the infantry. That would have technically been first.
Yep. And
Fearless infantry.
so a 3+.
They are no longer pinned. All right. From there, we're going to come to this side of the table where the reserves are probably going to show up. And we're looking for 5s. And you can bring in 1 unit. 2 units! Uh-oh. That's all you
Both,
had, right?
yeah.
Okay, well, we got all the reserves showing up now. Oh, we got some fighting on this flank. Oh, boy. All right, Rob is going to be very kind and let me do something I forgot. This Hornice was supposed to shoot and scoot in the assault phase, just to protect its rear from these reinforcements showing, because I knew one was showing up. It fails anyways. That's what I get for forgetting. Boom, he's hanging out. From this table quarter, from the 16-inch mark, which is about here, they do both units do a tactical move. The Easy 8s with the Jumbo show up, and then the Pershing show up right behind. So they're going for their prime targets, being the Oswins and the Hornice, because they're part of my core force. Losing both of them, my whole force will run away, because that'll be 75%. I'm just going to say it'll be 3 out of my 4 units in my main force. The only thing being left my tank commander. Losing them early, that put a lot of pressure on that aspect of my force.
That was a very important thing that happened.
Oh,
like you said, it's a whole slew of circumstances happened on this side of the table right in the beginning of the game.
It was perfect. You couldn't have asked for a better outcome. Those, like, as much as the Chaffies went down afterwards, they showed up and they did such a critical move.
I mean, you think about it, they destroyed that and then really harassed those guys down, right?
That was perfect. I loved everything about that.
Yeah. And for additional movement, the recon unit's going to stay still and shoot at the Panzer IVs. And our company commander is going to do a tactical move over here to try to eat him some Pumas.
All right, let's see where he ends up.
Like that.
Boom. And he's got Pumas right there in front of him. Beautiful. Then it has a couple of rules. Stabilizers, which means it gets its full rate of fire while moving tactically. In addition to that, it has an easy ride, smooth ride. So it does not take the negative effect of the stabilizer rule.
Correct.
So it pretty much always gets to move and shoot twice at no negative.
At tactical speed.
I like that. Gotta respect it.
And the infantry is just going to stay put and keep that objective safe as long as they can.
We're going to start with the Greyhounds firing into the PZ4s. Now, they are close enough to the edge of the woods they could see into them, but I will get concealment, so it'll be a little bit harder to hit them, which is 4s because they're aggressive. And what's your rate of fire? For 2 each?
2 each for the 37 mil guns on them. The machine guns won't do anything on the side of the
and
armor,
if anyone's curious, the 37 mil guns built into the turret down underneath the machine gun on top. 4s! We have a hit on the main target. Now, he does have the skirt on the top of the turret there. Against firepower 5 or 6, the defense goes from 3 to 5. So this is where I roll. We've had so many like no rolls. It goes right through armor. So I will actually get a 2+.
You need a 3+ to bounce it. 2 will glance.
First one, that's a bounce, and bounce. All right.
Well, there's only 1 hit.
There's actually only 1 hit. So I rolled.
So the first one.
The first one passes. The second one does too. So right off the skirts, which is kind of cool.
Yep.
Nice little upgrade on them. And that's it for this firing. But we have the Easy 8.
Yep, we're going to go on to him straight off the way. So
The Pumas. I got to double check their profile. 4 stick as a stabilizer is an easy ride. Oh, heck. Right through. Pumas are only armor 3 on the front.
So I'll start here on the right and go to the left. So right one.
Oh, he's bailed. Second guy, destroyed.
Yep.
All right, well, we got 1 Puma who stands alone, but bailed out. So we're going to see if they can be heroes later. And then we have, well, the rest of the firepower right down here. So we got the Easy 8s and the Pershings. What are we thinking, man?
The Pershings first, because I'd like to point this out. I have to finish a platoon's firing before I move on to the next platoon. Well, because he can't see the Hornice, he was going to split fire over there.
Right.
If he ends up destroying him, these guys go to shoot. There's too much concealment with the 1 tank that's left. So we're going to do Pershings first so we have some better shots.
Now, do they just have big, heavy guns or any fancy rules?
They're just going to be reduced down to rate of fire 1, but it is an AT-14. So, and I'm at long range, so I believe I'm hitting you on 5s.
Because that 1 is not going to gain enough cover on the side you're shooting at. Because we're technically shooting the front, but like
as odd as it may look, it's still going to hit front armor. So.
Correct, because it's not nearly enough concealed.
All right, ready?
Good luck. Oh
man.
Are you thinking about using your lucky? I never said in the beginning of the video, both Rob and myself, to get ourselves evenly to 100 points, we have these special cards. And they are just like random like little upgrade cards you can have here. Like as you can see, Lucky is one of them. US Force Limited, which means you can only do it once. And it costs 1 point. And it is, I would like to imagine, self-explanatory in its purpose. I also have one of these. But because I was at 97 points, I got this extra card as well, which won't be useful until a little bit later. Just going to save it?
Yeah, we're just going to save it for this round.
All right, that means we have the Easy 8s firing. Because you still do have this guy. They got stabilizers, a couple shots. Yeah.
Well, the Jumbo doesn't have stabilizers.
Only
the Easy 8s does.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
So he is essentially an up-armored Sherman. So he doesn't have the stabilizers or the smooth ride.
Okay,
so.
fair.
Or I'm sorry, he
stabilizers but not smooth ride. So he's going to fire his turret.
Yep.
I can't move it with one hand. You got a couple shots into the Oswin.
Yep.
And 4 shots into the Hornice. All long range.
Yep.
All hitting on 5s.
And with the stabilizers for him, it's going to be a 6, though.
Oh, without the stabilizers for him, that's right. Because
without the smooth ride, so.
without the smooth ride. Oh, because he moved. That's
Because
a
he
negative
moved,
modifier
yep,
for the extra shot. That's correct. Yeah.
So normally a 4, it'll be a 5 and then a 6.
Oh, you got a pair
my
of
God.
6s. So that's gonna hit both of them. But boom. There's line of sight to the other one. So it's a hit on both of them, and it's armor. It's anti-tank 14.
It's
It is hitting my front armor, which is armor 4, but 5 because of long range against anti-tank 10. So I need a
6 to bounce.
6 to bounce the shot. So the one closest to me, no bounce, and the other one, ooh, we do make it a glancing hit.
Yeah,
Okay, so that means he's gonna live no matter what. Against the one that didn't bounce on the 3 firepower, he is destroyed. And the other guy, is he bailed out? Yes. That means they're still sticking around though. This one, however, is out of here. All right, and then we're on to the Easy 8s, who do have Easy Ride, so they don't suffer the negative modifier stabilizers, into the Hornice. Looking for 5s. I see 3 freaking hits. Well, go ahead and roll me up 3 firepowers, because I have 0 armor on the back there, and he is out of here. So now, with my Hornice down, my Yag Panthers, and if that Ostwind doesn't rally and leaves, the game is over. As my main force has been reduced to only 1 platoon left, the rest of my support forces buckle as they notice the main force exit the battlefield as well. So I have to keep that Ostwind alive and hide it while putting pressure on the objectives for this win. So the Germans are in a bad, bad position. And it was all because of these guys. I love them.
That early game hit, yep.
Yeah. I mean, technically, I should keep this guy alive too, because if I lose him, it's the same circumstance.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, well, we're going to go on to turn 4 of at least 6 now. A remount on the Ostwind on a 4+. It does. Okay. We still have to roll last stands, though.
Sure.
Pumas are reluctant, so they remount on a 5-up, but they have the rule called Determined, which increases that by 1. Okay, well, they're not going to remount. It's last stand time. They get the Third Reich, the Pumas, so on a 4-up. Nope, the Pumas run! Didn't say Pumas. This singular element leaves the battlefield. And then we have last stand on the Ostwind. A singular die roll to maybe end the game here. They do have the Third Reich rule, however. They pass on a 3 because of Third Reich. And then we go to my infantry here, who are reluctant, but they get +1 because of Third Reich.
Oh, the MVPs right there.
Oh, they're hanging on! You know what? I love it for them. We're right on the movement. These guys are going to go bloop, bloop. So we're going to have this team jump on that track, and that team will jump on that half track, and then the other ones will have nothing in them, I suppose. They are going to go at cross-country dash, because they're just going to drive on. I guess this guy's technically on the hill. It doesn't really matter. We're only going to move to about here anyways. So we're going to use their tactical move or their terrain dash, so it's all good for them. We just want to stay out of the way of the Jagd
Panther.
Yeah. I'm going to attempt a blitz. I forgot to shoot and scoot him earlier, so he's going to attempt a blitz. The dummy. Still going to move tactical speed, however, to there. And I should probably knock the smoke off my my Hornice. Bloop, bloop, bloop. I fell over again. I thought we're going to go up to this point here with that 10-inch move. And I'm just going to take a couple of crazy long shots. But if I got lucky, it's got a pretty heavy gun, so it could take out the tank commander. And we are done moving on this side. But we have our Panzers and the Ostwind. The Ostwind's very important to dash somewhere safe. But where somewhere safe is, well, that is yet to be seen. The Panzer IVs here. It's very tempting to shoot at those Shermans, and it's very tempting to blitz and shoot at the Shermans. Easy 8s over here. Shouldn't keep them where they are, because this guy could shoot out of that side of the wood, and these guys could shoot this direction. That guy could turn his turret completely that way and still shoot out. So what I think I'm going to do is have this one turn his turret this way to fire, and then those two are going to turn their turrets the other way. They'll face that way for thematic purposes. Yeah, well, I mean, it's also important to face in that direction when they go to fire, because that's kind of where we're at right now. So we'll do Panzer IV into a couple shots at rate of fire 2 into the recon unit there, the Greyhounds and the Jeeps, and then we'll have rate of fire 8 into the side of the Easy 8s. But we are firing long range. With those two Panzers firing at the Easy 8s, side armor there, we should be hitting on 5s because of the long range. And we're going to go ahead and score a single hit. And we'll just keep it on. That's the jumbo.
That's the jumbo.
Look. Oh, what's his side armor?
8.
Ooh. Well, it is what it is. So 3 to bounce it. Oh! Ooh, sorry.
That's a penetrating hit, so firepower.
Sorry to hurt your ears there, folks. I was very surprised to see that. Firepower. Oh, he's just bailed out. You're fine. He's okay. And then the couple of shots into the Greyhounds. I'll declare the Greyhound as the main target there. What's their skill?
4.
4? All right, should just be forced to hit. Oh, double miss. And let's go. We're going to save the commander shot for the last. So the front arc of the Hummels. Oh, I do have to keep pounding, but I could.
You can repeat bombardment with the Hummels.
I could repeat. I have to kill that infantry, but I think I'm going to make a push for this objective over here with the Panzers and the Ostwind. Oh, I forgot to move the Ostwind. Oh my gosh, how did I forget that? Oh, I'm just going to go ahead and move him quickly. He's just going to go. I think he's going to go to that area there. This one is just going to move to this position here, backing it up. And then driving over there, using the woods to protect him for now against the very heavy tanks over here. Now the Hummels, I did have a plan on like pivoting this way and firing direct fire over at the Easy 8s, but then I realized I looked at the profile and the direct fire is only 16-inch range with the shells they fire. So we're just going to keep barraging into the infantry over there. And we're going to pick the same spots so we do not have to range in. That model, these two, and then the 4 inside on that side of the building on 4s because that's their skill. And we hit, quite a bit of times.
Wow.
5. So it'll be 3 hits on them and then 2 hits on whoever in the building. Pins them, and then you go ahead and just do your save.
So we're going to start here and run our way back. So the first guy fails. Second guy fails. Third guy fails.
I like how you predicted the fail, though, yeah.
Well. And then you said 2 more.
Yeah.
So we'll do it on this infantry and the command team. So the front infantry.
It's a 5.
And the command.
Ooh, command. Okay, the command somehow dies. Well, because you have a bullet. What's it called?
Bulletproof cover, so you're going to have to do firepower,
which
is
a
bombardment.
2 up. That unit there, firepower 2+, they're dead. That unit there, firepower 2+, they're dead. And then the command squad is, alive. And then that's, we still have the range in marker there, and the unit's pinned, but they're all foxhole dug in still. They're just holding, that's their goal. Their goal is to hold the ground. Then we're going to go with our tank commander. Last shot, one singular shot way down the table. And it's going to be 5 because long range. There's no concealment.
Nope.
There's no concealment, eh? Does look like it's pretty heavy concealment, so we're looking to hit on a 6. That's a 3. Didn't matter in the end. He moved, so I can't do the shoot and scoot in the assault phase, and that is my turn. Okay, well, not super exciting. We killed some infantry, though, and we're going to go on the bottom of turn 4 for the Americans. We're going to remount the Easy 8.
He is a remount because he has protected ammo of a 3+.
Oh,
no, he stayed.
Interesting. Okay, we did pin him down for a turn. Not a bad shot there, Panzers. And we have to unpin the fearless infantry on a 3-up.
A 4-up. They're fearless.
There should be a 3-up for them.
Is it 3?
3. That's a 6. A 3. Never mind. That's a 3. They're good. That's it. There's no last stands. We're right on to movement because there's no more reserves. We're going to go to the recon.
And they're just going to stay put and keep shooting.
Keep popping shots, keep trading blows. And then we have the Pershings and the Easy 8s.
Yeah, we're going to have to try to figure a way to that Ostwind and maybe some other elements, see what we can do to make some things happen.
The Easy 8s are going to do a cross-country dash.
Yeah, they're just going to come right up here and get into the face of this Ostwind.
And they're going to leave their jumbo behind. The Pershings.
They're just going to do a tactical move.
And face the Panzer IVs.
Face the PZ4s and return some fire. So he's just going to do a terrain dash and go his 14. Get right up here and start threatening that Ostwind.
Again, if this Ostwind goes down, I'm out of here. He could just last stand his way out of here too.
Maybe.
Fail a last stand check. And that should be it for movement.
Yep.
All right, so not firing the Shermans and not firing... It's not the Shermans, the Easy 8s.
Easy 8s.
Because
the Pershings will fire.
Oh yeah, we got a couple
and
shots.
Your Greyhounds.
So they're aggressive. They get hit on 3s, but they're concealed a wee bit and long range. So, and that's okay. Pair of 2s, nice. And then we have the Greyhounds firing into the side of the Pershings.
So they will need 4s because you're concealed, right?
Yes. That is still 3 hits. That'll be hit on every single one of them. That'll be side, side, rear technically, but same armor. And then, but I go to armor 5.
AT7 to armor 5.
So I'm looking for, on this guy here, a 2+. He passes, the guy behind passes, and the third guy passes. Okay, alrighty. That was a very quick turn.
Very fast, yep.
We're on to turn 5. Okay. Okay, well the Panzers are gonna have to leave those woods at some point as we go into my turn 5 here. Oh, this could be the last turn. That guy could just run away, so. I don't have to remount anywhere. I have this singular last stand. He's part of the Third Reich, so 3 up. That's a 6. He's okay.
Last stand here, though.
Oh, yeah. You have the 2 elements left. We've got the commander and the regular team in there, so last stand. On a 4 up because of they're reluctant. So they are actually going to turn and leave. I'm not going to use my lucky on that. Because if I got to save it for the Ostwind.
But that does not cause your company to run.
Right, that's just a support unit of infantry.
Yep.
We're on to regular movement, where I believe we want to blitz move our commander. He does pass. There we go. And we got some good shots on the side of the Easy 8 there, but it will be concealment because of the house, because we only see the back half of them, and obviously long range. The Hummels are going to stay still. And the Ostwind is going to declare a cross-country dash. He's going to try and get over here. Got to keep running. Boop, boop, boop. Didn't quite use his full movement, but he's going to hide behind this house. It's only buying time is all this is. Then over to the Panzer IVs. I do have to try and get an element or a team onto that objective now, so they're going to have to do some cross-checks. And I do want to shoot them this turn, so we're going to do a cross-check on that guy. Oh, do I just blitz? I'm going to try to blitz on top of it. So first of all, 4 up for a blitz. Oh, they pass. I'm going to steal a saying and say that they love the war.
They love the war.
Because I like that. I do have to do a cross-check, however. Yaha! So he'll be able to do a 4-inch move with the blitz, which will get him within 4 of the objective.
That little shrub, I measured it for you earlier, it will be 4 inches.
Perfect.
Within 4 inches.
He'll make it there and be near the objective. And if I could pop that Easy 8 and pop these guys, I'm in a great spot.
You are.
We have to do a cross-check on that vehicle there. He's okay, and then a cross-check on that one. They're all going to pass, and they're going to end up in different degrees of shoot them.
6 shots, right?
Yeah, that's where they reposition. They're going to put all the shots into the Greyhound and the Jeeps here, and we're going to hope to do our best to just take them out here. They're hit on 4s normally?
Yes.
All right, well, I'm hitting on 4s then. So we got lots of shots on 4s. We got 5 of the hits. So the main target's the Greyhound, and then you have to assign the other 4 hits, however you want.
So 2, 1, 1, and 1.
Makes sense, okay.
Right.
So what's the armor 2?
So front armor on them is 2, so it's going to go straight to firepower on him.
All right, so a couple of dice on that guy. He's gone sky high, and that guy there is, ooh, just bailed.
Save each on the Jeeps. We're going to start here and go that
fast 4-up saves. Passes? Ooh, passes, very good. Okay, all right. Well, we did some damage to him at least. And then, way over here, we have our Hummels that are going to keep pounding their artillery on the marked spot, which should at this point hit 5 teams.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yep. And these are 4s to hit. I'm going to hit twice.
Twice.
So we're going to get a hit there and a hit on one of them. So you have a 3-up save.
Yep.
That's a fail. Okay. And then
that guy. Sorry.
That's also a fail.
Yep.
Okay. So there's
firepower checks on both those guys.
2-up. That kills him. And then 2-up. And kills 2 more teams.
All right.
I guess we're slowly getting there. It's very, very slow. The reposition where that shot goes, because I'm only going to be hitting like 3 teams now. Yeah, all the other ones are on the other side of the house.
Yep. Yeah, you got 2 there and 1 on the top floor, right?
Yeah, just 3 teams now being hit, yeah. After that, we got our tank commander popping a couple shots off on your Easy 8 because we did a blitz move, so we count as having not moved. But we have long range and concealment. So we need 6s to hit because he's hit on 4s normally. So for dramatic effect, no. Hits the building. Or just misses, goes long. Yeah.
That was a tactical mistake on my part. I forgot he was over there.
Yeah, and that shot, there's no save, and it's just if one goes through firepower, boom. Oh, I'd just be bailed out. I'm going to attempt a shoot and scoot on my commander. He will pass it. Because he technically didn't move in the movement phase. He gets to move again. Just going to take up that position. And we're on to turn 5 for the Americans. Well, we have to try to remount the Greyhound or the
Let's do the
Jumbo.
Greyhound.
All right, the Greyhound first.
Yep, Greyhound remount is going to be a 4+.
Oh, they're good.
Yep.
Get back on there, boys. And the Jumbo over here.
The Jumbo will be next on a protected ammo 3+.
Yes.
All right.
There's no last stand, so we are right on to movement. We start with the Jumbo.
Yeah, I'll start with that platoon.
Yeah.
So I'm going to move the Easy 8 as terrain dash over towards the Ostwind, and then he's going to follow as expeditiously as he can.
Well, they could just cross-country dash a little bit faster.
Cross-country, sorry, yes.
Yeah. They're just going to do a tactical move, and the Jumbo is going to terrain cross-country dash to get coherent. The Jumbo just does a tactical, because they did a tactical move, the Jumbo's got to do a tactical move. So he's not able to fire, he's out of command, and he's just trying to get closer to them. The Pershings are going to attempt to blitz. They do have tactics, so they get a 3-up on their skill. They don't even need it. 4 inches forward.
Yep.
For freedom! For freedom! The commander is going to do a tactical move with stabilizers, an easy ride, or
Smooth ride.
Smooth ride, just to put shots on the panzers in the woods, and then obviously make it so I cannot get the objective. And we're going to move the recon unit over there as well.
Yep.
And cross-country dashing the recon unit onto the objective as well. So I'll have to, with those tanks, the Panzer IVs, I'll have to survive all of this firepower, and then return enough firepower to kill all 4 of those elements. And then, or the teams there, and then I win. Great. Might as well start shooting. We want to do the commander.
Yeah, let's do the commander.
So we are hitting these guys on 3s normally, but 4s because of concealment. And easy ride or smooth ride, so you don't care about the negatives. Oh, a couple hits. So nearest one, and then I'll put the second hit on the guy further away.
Well, he's more than 4 inches out, I think, from the edge of the wood. Can you see him?
Oh, you're right. So you can let that guy there in the middle. Makes more sense. Ooh, so firepower goes right through their armor.
So front one.
Oh, just bailed out. And
That
dead.
one's destroyed.
Well, we got 2 panzers left. Oh, one's bailed out. All right, it's looking bad. Looking real bad. The Pershings get their full rate of fire because they blitzed, and forced to hit because I'm concealed. That.
Oh my God.
The woods!
Have they hit anything yet today?
Actually, I don't think the Pershings have. No, I don't think they really have at all. Yeah.
No?
They're trying, though.
They're trying, yeah.
All right, we got the Easy 8 over here, the stabilizers. 1 shot into the Ostwind. 2 shots. 2 shots.
2 shots.
Yeah, 2 shots. Should be hitting on 4s, maybe 5. Oh, we got the hit. I don't
think I'm going to hit you.
I think
you're
concealed. That was going to say
So,
the concealment
yeah.
might be because the corner does
Yep,
protect.
so I
a lot
needed
of
a 5 at the least.
So it hits the corner of the building.
Yep.
Very lucky. Okay, well that was it. It's not bad.
We say that's it. Like, are we sure?
That was. We're on
It
a
almost
turn
seems
6.
undramatic, you know. So.
Oh, okay. Well, turn 6 for the Germans. I got some stuff to do over here.
And
Objectives go live now. This is where the game could abruptly end. Though to do so, I do contest the objective right now. So if I can remove all 4 of those, then I win.
well, if he remounts, you will, because he's. Not,
He has to also
remount.
then on top of all that, he must remount. So let's try that right now. He does. Nice. All right, so we got our 2 panzers. And then, this could be very anticlimactic. This guy could just run away and the game's over.
The Ostwind, yeah.
We got the last stand on the Ostwind. Third Reich passes. I'd like to point out that only because of the Third Reich rule has he stayed both times. We're going to immediately go into movement because I have nothing else to do. And we are going to go ahead and cross-country dash on this Ostwind. So he's going to try and go up behind this building here. And I'd like to point out that he's backing up this entire way as he's desperately trying to run away from these Easy 8s coming for him. I don't have a whole lot to defend him over here, and there's not a whole lot more to run to. So we're going to go, we have a little bit more movement. I think we're going to go right, no, we don't want to expose ourselves too much. We're going to hang out right there, and hopefully that helps. And, oh gosh, we have our tank commander. Commander here is going to attempt yet another blitz. He succeeds. Loves the war. Move his forward to there, just to get a shot down the buildings at the Easy 8. Leave pressure off this Ostwind as they hunt him down. Gosh, these panzers are going to attempt to blitz. Mostly just that guy back there. No, I'm not going to risk it. I'm just going to move. Cross-check on that guy. He passes. I would have passed the blitz, dang it. Would I pass the cross-check? I would have. Dang it. Move at tactical speed. And then that one stays still. Is going to rotate his turret backwards because we're going to go ahead and fire right now and put 3 shots into the Easy 8 commander. And try and get him out of here for now. These are going to hit on... I got 2 guys. No, they should all hit on 4s? Yeah. That's a pair of hits. That's not bad.
Bounces.
Oh, okay. This is 1811, armor 7 on the front.
Yep, 5 or better to bounce.
Oh, the 4
glance,
does
though.
glance, though. So does it do firepower? No, it's nothing at all.
He's good.
Ooh.
Hot.
Ooh. Then we're going to go to our Jäger Panther, and fire at the Easy 8 here. We are at long range, though. Definitely concealment as well, because we got coverage on kind of like this building and that building. We can see like that part of him there. So these are going to be a couple hits on 6s. Unfortunate. And then from there, we're going to do the Hummels. We're going to have to pick a new point. I'm going to have to find a good spot to find. Use the middle Hummel because it's got the best, well, it's down this line here, right to the buildings. I'm going to range in on that team's spot right there, which will hit everyone in the building, including the mortars on the other side. But I only range it on a 4 because I'm shooting at a building. Failed the first one. Second one. Oh! Whiff, whiff, whiff. Maybe next time. And that should be my turn. Obviously, at the end of the turn, I do not control the objective, so I cannot win. And the Americans don't win either because I am near the objective. Now, on this American turn, if he can kill those panzers, if he kills the panzers, or the Ostwind, it's game, because I'll have nothing near an objective. I probably should have moved my tank commander closer to that objective to contest it, but I kind of forgot. And over there was kind of a lost cause. This was like a last little desperate attempt, but they could live. They could still live. It's true, I could Stormtrooper here, bring up a good point here. If I succeed, I don't. Okay, well. I took the risk of the shot.
Worth a try.
And then I could have done a shoot and scoot with the Stormtrooper rule, allowing him to do that to there, getting with an 8, and then making so both have to be targeted. But he rolled a 1.
Lesser rate of fire.
We forgot to remove the pin from last turn if they would 3 up because they're fearless. And they would have been unpinned from last turn because I failed to hit them with artillery this turn.
So the easy 8s are going to do a cross-country dash to get in a better position. We're going to move them right here.
We've given up hunting the Ostwind. He's too fast.
We'll move him over here like that.
And then he'll get within command with a cross-country dash as well. The Pershings are in a good position just to stay there and keep hammering the Panzers, and so is the command tank. But if you want to move them a little bit to get better position, it's on you. And then keep the Greyhound and the Jeeps. All right. And that should be on the infantry, obviously, where they are.
They're doing their job.
On to shooting. Where do you want to start?
Let's start with the Greyhound. So,
you would?
Yeah, I would. Of course I would.
Okay.
So, I'm going to need, what, 4s
because concealment, yep. That is...
oh, my God, a pair of hits.
So. Did you get 2?
Yep.
All right. So. Well, we'll go hit and hit.
Armor here on that guy, but it's side armor on that one. So it'll bounce off of that guy.
The front guy can't get hurt. And that guy might get bailed out on the firepower. It does. You pale him.
Is it 4+?
Okay, well, their firepower is actually 4 up. I would have never gotten the skirts against that. So those guys alone probably could have popped the Panzer.
They probably could have earlier.
Yeah.
At least one, maybe, right?
Yeah. Okay, well, sorry about that, folks, at home. But that does bail it out, however. And then that means I have a bailed out tank and a not bailed out tank.
And then we're going to move on to
Commander
here. So he's also going to need 4s.
4s is correct. That is a hit on the... do you want to do the
operation? It'll be the operational one.
Operational one? Yeah, it would have to be. And then I don't know if I could save against the barrel roll. Not a 4.
Yeah, not on a 4. Not with an AT-12.
And then 3 up, he's dead. Oh, he's also bailed out. The crew are occupied. We have 2 Pershings firing 4 shots. 4s. Okay, they got 3 hits.
Finally got 3 hits.
So we'll do 1 on him, and then we'll do 2 on him and 1 on him.
Sure.
And there's no way I save against the Pershings. So
yeah.
So just firepower. So 2 firepower on him. Oh, he's sky high. Yep. Does not love the war. And the other guy, they're all dead. And that's game. That is game because now I have no units or platoons near any of the objectives at the end of this turn. So congratulations to the Americans. They have defended the French territory against the German counterattack.
Yeah, but it was hard fought, especially on this flank here.
Yeah.
It was crazy. So
that was a damn good game.
Yeah.
So we're gonna go ahead and tidy up a little bit and then jump into a post game. I want to thank you again for the excellent game. That was very back and forth. Holy crap, all over the place. There were several moments where you could have taken the win, and there was one minor moment where I could have snagged it. And I like that every little move matters, because just looking at, we cleaned up. Looking at the pacing of this game, certain things, the positions they were in, where I could have done a little bit better, or had moved a little bit better and made a slightly smarter decision, which might not have mattered in the end. You never know. It's all very heavy dice.
Absolutely. On the topic of the dice, that's the thing. I think that I really enjoyed the game because the dice played well into us telling a great story.
That's my favorite
game, right?
Yeah, exactly,
they really worked with us to make it happen. So.
If I had to say my favorite trait about any war game is you can make the decisions, but the dice tell the story.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I like it where someone who's been playing for a veteran, a master at the game, could lose against a novice, hypothetically.
Yeah.
I love stuff like that. Absolutely. That's perfect, right? Because you can never plan ahead. You could have what you would consider the best possible build, and you could just get screwed.
Best
10
laid
games in a row.
battle plans.
Yeah.
Right up until they meet the enemy.
Exactly. That's it. I can't. I love that saying.
There's a saying along that lines. I butchered it.
It's exactly that. Like it's like a plan, like a well-laid battle plan never survives contact with the enemy or something like that. Yeah. So I love stuff like that. It's so good, and it came up quite a bit in this game, right? I had a good attack plan, like a quick, one example, like my Ostwinds. I didn't mind them in the woods, but then Rob had pointed out, well, if you had them like skirting up this side of the table, because I knew your reinforcements were coming in over here. And if I just had them shooting
if they came up a long way, or even in the short range here, to go towards the infantry,
and then just bomb shots at them all
just sit there with their 6 shots every turn, with their fantastic rate of fire and the firepower, it would have helped you clear those guys out a lot sooner. And maybe that would have given you that objective. You'd have had more confidence to bring something. I mean,
that's the one thing I regret not doing in the game. Everything else, didn't mind it so much. I will say a little bit of a learning curve on the Hummels. I had thought that their direct fire was the same range as the indirect fire. So that one clutch shot I had over here would not have been within 16-inch range. So that was a misplay on my part.
Oh, for the one we shot at the Chaffies here?
Yeah,
no
one,
worries.
It
was one tank team, right? So,
it was, yeah.
Yeah. So.
And then other than that, though, like a little bit of insight into the German forces and what I would like to add to the list I played. Because, again, that list, and heck, the list that we both played are directly out of the starter boxes.
They are the starter armies.
American Bulge, German Bulge. Yep. Right, starters. That's in like right here.
The only thing we changed was adding the command cards. So.
Exactly, and we didn't even use them.
We didn't even use them.
Didn't need them. Well, it's one single reroll in the entire game, so I would use it for a game winning or losing moment.
We spoke about it a couple of times, but we decided ultimately it's like no, let's wait for the real clinch moment.
Yeah.
Which never came.
We
were always on the edge of it.
Right.
But it just never came to fruition.
I was thinking, you were thinking about using it against the Oswin when they were both over here, and that could have won the game because you take out the Oswins and that would have been game.
But I was still would have needed 5s or 6s.
You needed a 5. You would have needed a 5 with the Pershing.
With a single die.
And you knew they didn't perform at all for the rest of the couple turns after that. And I knew I was going to save my lucky reroll for that Oswin for a failed last stand. He's a 3-up rerollable, and if he fails on a 3-up rerollable, well, that's out of my control.
That was a perfectly good plan to keep that in reserve for that purpose because it kept you in the game. So
exactly.
You not ever using it was just a bonus. And I got to point out, that thing being a 3+, that was ridiculous.
Yeah,
so.
The Third Reich rule is really good for that last stand.
It's good.
It makes it feel not super bad to run like massive small units, or just 2 platoons.
Especially with something like that has such a lower armor compared to the rest of what was in your force. Because let's face it, you got heavy cats available for days. You know, so having something light armored like that, but having the ability to stand the battlefield when you only had 2 to begin with and one's gone, I think it's worth it. So
I do like the Osman. I would, if I was to do anything, I'd probably drop the Pumas. Though I do like the scout aspect of it. I'm just not an advanced enough player.
That spearhead is very important in general gameplay because it just opens up some options for you. And like I was telling you pre-game, if you have a unit available that gives you the spearhead, you really want to. It's not an easy button.
I know.
I'm just saying it's something though that scenario when you're doing random scenario generation, it's going to come in handy more often than not. So.
I know in my experience in all games, card games, board games, video games, it doesn't really matter what it is, war games, options are the key to victory in every situation.
And if you're still down on changing it, instead of just dropping them completely, change them out for some SD KFZ 222 scout cars or
something cheaper.
That still give you that option, but save you a couple points, and you can more maximize things. You know?
I was thinking about doing something exactly like that, or keeping the Pumas and maybe. It was either dropping the Panzers, because I want to add more. I want to have the flexibility to take away some of the Jagd Panthers and add like a Tiger, because I really like Tigers. They're big cats are fun. And on top of that, or the what are they called? The long gun, but soft.
The Hornice.
The Hornice. Yep. Adding a second unit of Hornice in there, or bumping that unit up a little bit, because I love the Stormtrooper rule. The blitz out, fire, and then.
Stormtrooper to
use Stormtrooper to use
shoot and scoot.
Shoot and scoot. That's right, and they go right behind cover, and then make it so they're very hard to like get a bullseye on, and make it so effectively their low armor doesn't matter at all, like Eldar trickery essentially in one way or another, right? So I would love to add a little bit more of that. Get a big. I like the Jagd Panthers. I think they're fun, but I want to swap out some of them and get a Tiger in there, or figure out how to run a Tiger, or maybe a Tiger too.
Well, I think in the second game too, one of the things that kind of set that tone a little bit more for you too was the fact that they died in that first turn
right off the rip.
So you didn't even use them in the rest of the game.
Well, the stupid Chaffee showed up and just absolutely boom right through him. That's what you get. You got side armor. It was perfect. Yeah, and you rolled well, and it was great. You couldn't ask for a better outcome.
And then you returned the punches. So.
And I killed the Chaffies. That's right. But the Chaffies did their job. Yep. That was and I had to save face because those if I didn't deal with those Chaffies, they were gonna be.
The Hornice were in trouble.
Bye Hornice, goodbye Hummels, goodbye, and then you're flanking my Oswins as well. So I had to deal with them.
Well, it was good that you had the infantry there. That was well placed with them. So
that worked out well. That was like again excellent outcomes all over the place. I could have that command tank right there when my
you had him a couple of times.
The Panzer IVs they popped over and I think I laid 5 hits on you. Yeah.
Yep. The company commander was here. 2IC was right there, and it worked out. I just failed in my favor. Yeah.
I killed the second in command and it failed.
You bailed them.
Yep.
And then I remounted. So
that was it. I failed the firepower check. That was it. And that's all it came down to. It was a 3-up. He could have died. It was awesome. And then the infantry holding in the building. But infantry in this game are great.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Infantry in general are great, but I love American Airborne. But my British Tommies, I still love them. I have them. But my real favorite are British Commandos. They're hot. So
I haven't got to experience those guys. I'm kind of curious what the more like the Fallschirmjäger, like veteran Fallschirmjäger might look like for the German forces. Is there? Oh yeah. Yeah, they're pretty much like the equivalent of the Fallschirmjägers is the paratroopers.
Yeah, the paratroopers for the Germans. But you also have some more unique units of infantry, like German pioneers, that you can also bring that will allow you to place things like minefields.
Oh, that's
or
cool.
Things of nature. So as you explore through the cards and the book, you'll find a lot of other options. I mean, we really only grazed the surface with this. So
I liked the second game a lot because I really felt like I got the true grasp of the game with all the orders. I felt like I was doing orders. I felt like I was doing movement orders every turn. They were very relevant.
Oh, you were taking advantage of it. I less so, especially with like the
you have
moving through the terrain. That's just my play style. If I don't need to take a risk, I try not to.
Right. Well, with the easy 8s, the stabilizers, and the smooth ride, you really don't need to.
Yep.
You can just move. You just straight up move and have 2 shots on 4s. You don't need to blitz. You only need to blitz if like you desperately need that extra 4 inches for whatever reason.
Just to get within short range, maybe. You know, so.
That might be worth it, right? And then they have Yankee tactics. Or whatever. So
Yankee ingenuity.
Yankee ingenuity, which makes their tactics work typically on a 3-up.
Yep.
So it's definitely, because it's not as valuable for you to do the tactics, they give you that bonus just in case you want to take the risk. It helps you just that little bit more.
Yep.
Right. I really like the nation design rules so far. I'm curious to see what like the British have going for them. I like the German rules. I think they're great. The armor they have access to is really fun, and there's like a crap ton of options in this. The line is massive.
Yeah. My hope is on the British is maybe we'll come and do another. We'll get a chance to do a visit with you guys for Bulge British sometime in the future, maybe. So.
Absolutely, and I'll have some tigers ready.
Yeah,
to
right
go.
there you go.
That'd be ideal. I'd have a blast. Like no matter what, just having the big cats on the table, have a blast. Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Anyways, I want to thank you and thank you for coming by and teaching me this game. I have wanted to learn it for a long time, and this was obviously a great opportunity to do so.
I say this for everybody about it. We're glad to be here, and we're really happy that you guys enjoyed it. You know, and we want to come back.
Perfect. So. That's perfect. And Josh is in the other room with a coworker right now doing Team Yankee. This battle report is coming out much later than that, so you probably have already seen those. But there might be more in production since then. I don't know. I don't know the schedule of the releases or anything. But I hope that everyone at home got some enjoyment out of this. And please consider looking in to Flames of War because, especially if you're a historical. For me, I've always been a historical guy. And tanks, I've always been more into infantry. But this is like almost like the perfect amount of tanks. It's ideal.
Yeah.
I'd use the word ideal, I guess. Anyways, folks, we'll let you get back to your day. Thank you for tuning in. We will see you next time for some more wargaming, and I want to wish you all, of course, happy wargaming in the future, and good luck. And bad luck to some of you. And you know who you are at home.
Leave Kenny alone.